I've had so many exes, it's like a collection of Pokemon cards. Not to brag, but if there was a contest for most breakups survived, I'd probably be the grand winner. It all started in high school. That time when you thought love was as simple as solving an algebra problem. Like if you just said, "I love you," everything would be fixed. My first heartbreak, 9th grade. He was my first the one, supposedly. I thought we'd be together until our skin got all wrinkly. We used to give each other cheesy love letters with stick figures holding hands. Sweet, right? But like bubblegum, the sweetness faded. The problem with puppy love is, it's like a dog. It grows up fast and looks for other things to play with. We broke up because, well, high school. One day we were saying "I love you," and then the next it was "Who are you?" The reason. He apparently had a new crush in another section. Hurt? A lot. It felt like getting hit in the face with a volleyball, the kind you don't see coming. I cried and cried in the school bathroom while my friends were busy copying homework. That's where I first learned that forever sometimes only lasts until the next periodical exam. And moving on? It's like studying for a quiz bee. You have to memorize that it's really over. When 4th year came around, another snake slithered into my heart. This was the bad boy type that everyone had a crush on. I thought this time we were more mature. Of course we were graduating, right? He'd even walk me home and pick me up, and then text, "Eat now," like his love was a meal. I felt like I was in a teen movie. I was the simple girl noticed by the campus heartthrob. But it turns out, I wasn't the only star in his movie. He had many actors in his life, and I was just an extra with one line. The ending? Classic. I caught him holding hands with someone else at the fishball stand. That's when I realized that love is like choosing a dish at a local eatery. Sometimes what looks delicious is actually spoiled, and your friends who say, "I told you so," those are the ones who truly love you. My high school love life was a long TV series with only pilot episodes. None of them made it to season 2. What did I learn? Don't believe promises made under the mango tree on school grounds too much. Often, they wither as quickly as the flowers he picked for you. And high school love? Most of the time, it's just a practice round for bigger battles in life. When I stepped into college, I thought my love life would level up too. New environment, new people, and of course new hope to find a decent relationship. That's where I met Mr. Ambitious, smart, an organization leader, and dreamed of becoming a CEO of a big company. He seemed perfect, right? Like those K-drama leads who are rich and kind. The problem was his ambition wasn't just for his career. He also had an ambition to have many options. We were together, but it felt like we weren't. Always busy, always in meetings, always "I'll call you later," which never happened. I felt like a magazine subscription he only read when he felt like it. We ended things with a text message. I think we need to focus on our priorities. It hurt because I thought I was his priority. But it turned out I was at the bottom of his list after his thesis, his organization, and his me time. I cried again. But this time, with beer and friends. That's when I understood that not everyone who's smart in academics is smart in love. Sometimes people who are too focused on their future forget to take care of the present. And those people who are always busy, maybe they just don't really want to bother with you. Love is like a group project. If you're the only one doing the work, you'll definitely fail. Next came Mr. Perfect on paper. From a good family, had a car, and always brought gifts for my mom. All my friends approved of him. They said, "This is it, don't let him go." I also thought he was the answer to all my prayers. But there was one small problem. He was boring. So boring. Like our date would be watching a documentary about the life cycle of ants. No spark, no laughter. We were like two robots programmed to be sweet to each other. I tried to adjust, but it felt like forcing myself to wear shoes that were too tight. They looked good on the outside, but hurt on the inside. I initiated our breakup. It was hard because how do you tell someone who's almost perfect, "Sorry, I'm not happy"? I felt like the villain in my own love story. But that's where I learned that love isn't a checklist. Just because you've checked all the boxes, kind, rich, loves you, doesn't automatically mean you'll be happy. You still need a connection. You need laughter. You need some silliness. Because if you don't have that, you just have a relationship, but no life. It's better to be alone than to be with someone who's perfect, but you still feel alone. Among all my exes, there was one common thing, a third party, not always a person. Sometimes the third party was a video game, or friends, or ambition, but the most painful? A real third party. The kind with a name, a face, and a number in his phone book. That's where I met Mr. Two-Timer. He was so good at hiding it. You'd think he was an angel who descended from heaven. Sweet, caring, and always saying you're the only one. But it turned out he was a 2-for-1 deal. He had another only one in another city. We were like two basketball teams who didn't know there was only one referee. All the red flags were already there. His phone was always on silent. You couldn't call him at night, the sudden business trips. But because I was in love, or just plain stupid, I ignored it all. I thought that was what trust was called, but it was just foolishness. I caught them not because of my detective work, but because of an accidental tag on Facebook. Just one picture, and my world crumbled. The pain was double. Not just because he cheated on me, but because I felt so incredibly stupid. Why didn't I see it? Why did I believe him? That's where I learned the lesson about red flags. They're like a stoplight. When you see them, you should stop. Don't think it'll turn green. Don't justify the wrong things. If something feels wrong, chances are it really is wrong. Trust isn't blind belief. Trust is given to someone who proves every day that they are worthy of it. And those who cheat, they are the people who are never content, and no matter what you give them, they will never be content. The problem isn't with you, it's with them. Dealing with a third party is like a movie scene where the legal wife and the mistress meet, but in real life, no slapping happened. What did I do? I stepped back. Because I realized, why would I fight for a prize that's already broken? Why would I fight over someone who doesn't know the meaning of one? Letting go in this situation isn't losing. It's choosing yourself. It's respecting yourself. It hurts, yes, but it hurts more if you stay in a relationship with 3 people. Because in the end, you'll be the only one who loses. After a series of heartbreaks, I reached a point where I was tired of crying, tired of analyzing, tired of starting over. That's when Z-Axis X came into the picture. I called him Z-Axis because he gave depth to everything I learned. He wasn't the one, but he was the one who taught me the most. With him, I felt the hardest breakup. Not because of a third party or a fight, we ended because we had to, because we wanted to take different paths in life. No villain. We were both heroes in different stories. This was the hardest moving on, because how can you be angry at someone who did nothing wrong? How can you forget someone who was good to you? It was hard to move on because you couldn't blame anyone but fate. The pain was quiet but deep, like a wound that doesn't bleed but you know it's there. My moving on took a long time. Months. Years. In that process, I learned to face myself. I asked myself, what do I really want? Not in a relationship, but in life. And there, in the midst of sadness, I found self-love. Not the self-love that's just for Instagram posts. The real self-love. The understanding that you don't need another person to be whole. The taking care of yourself not so others will like you, but because you love yourself. I started focusing on my career, my hobbies, my friends. I started traveling alone. And with every journey, I slowly put myself back together. Stronger, smarter, more whole. I've had many exes, yes, but I don't see them as mistakes. They are chapters in my life's book. Each one brought a lesson. From Mr. High School, I learned that forever isn't guaranteed. From Mr. Ambitious, I learned that I shouldn't be an option. From Mr. Perfect on paper, I learned that happiness isn't a checklist. From Mr. Two-Timer, I learned to value red flags. And from Z-Axis, I learned that the most important relationship you should take care of is your relationship with yourself. In the end, love isn't about finding the right person. It's about being the right person for yourself. And when you are whole, the right person will just come along. You won't have to look for them.